Welcome to the New Rugged Order podcast, exclusively on the Hard Knock Digital Culture channel. Now give it up to your host, people, MM2K.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It's your boy, MM2K of the Hard Knock Digital Culture. Back again with another episode of NRO Podcast or NRO Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest and greatest in gaming news, consoles, PCs, hardcore gaming, that is. We ain't talking about pizzle popper here. We talk about the latest headlines that is creating buzz in the gaming community. And we have a great show lined up for you today. Today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. A celebratory situation for a lot of gamers. But for some reason, there's a swath of gamers, a little group, little gang, little militia of gamers out there that are upset. And they're calling the Game Awards a fraud. We're going to deep dive and look into that. We got a developer that's been bucking a lot of recent trends when it comes to what developers have to say, then delete, about the Xbox Series S. One dev actually came out and praised it. So we're going to take a look at that. And then lastly, it's the holidays. Thanksgiving's around the corner. Black Friday will then proceed. What deals can you get? How can you get the biggest bang out of your buck this Black Friday? We're gonna go over those deals with you and more, depending upon how much y'all cut up in the chat. We're gonna do all that. It is NRO Podcast, episode 3. Yo, what is up to the good people in the chat? Let me shout y'all out. Thank y'all very much for coming through. Oh, Cold Blood is in here cutting up. How come Cold Blood? I only see Cold Blood's comment in there. He says, yo, you stream while Squids is streaming. Damn, competition amongst friends, I guess. No, brother. It's all part of the network. And sometimes there's going to be network. There's so much great content that we put out there from PNTS Network. That includes Hard Knock Digital Culture. That includes Cloud Dosage. It's all serving different audiences. There's some people that are like, AAA games, phooey. Yeah, they might not want to. They might not want to tune in here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at them. You know, phooey, AAA games. You know. No. So check us out. Check us out on here, clouddosage.com. Squid might be running a little late today into the hour. Check that out. Also go check out MM2K Gaming. This is where I do my own individual thing on YouTube. Check us out there. I got some videos coming up there today. We got stuff popping up everywhere. Cloud Dosage streams. Go check that out. So it's all gravy, man. It's all gravy, man. Shout out to Vet Cloud Gaming in the house. Vet, good to see you, my good brother. We also got Dusty Aran in the house. He says, yo, shout out to Dusty Aran. Something weird is going on. All your comments are not popping up for some reason in my featured chat program. Let's see your ticker queuing. Ticker. Why is that in ticker? I don't know what the hell's going on. Hopefully we'll figure that out. All right, with that being said, let's get on to today's show. Man. So here, let me see. I want to find this tweet first, so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. So let me find this tweet. It's a tweet where my good friend Podorock, you know him. He is the infamous PlayStation fanboy. Good friend Podorock's my homie. He got it. There he goes. I found it. So I want to say this for full disclosure, because I ain't got to lie about video games. I ain't got to make y'all think that I'm, this or that, just so I can get views. It ain't about that. You either down with the message or you ain't. You know what I mean? Right now, I am not the biggest fan of Xbox, but it doesn't mean I can't score things down the middle as far as what's going to be good for the average gaming consumer. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan, but I get why people buy them. I get why a lot of people have flocked and picked up the Series S. I get why Game Pass is creating a buzz. I get all that. But what we do here is we take the hyperbole and the overabundance that certain entities try to take when it comes to reporting Game Pass. Like when they say things like PlayStation Now. Like shout out to David Jaffe. Shout out to Jaffe. I love Jaffe. Creator of God of War. What is there not to love about David Jaffe, right? But David Jaffe's another one of these hyperbolic entities who says shit tries to make it seem like it's golden, and it ain't true. Like, I remember way back when, several months ago, when PlayStation released its PlayStation Plus Essential and Premiere and Gold and whatever the fuck they call it, I don't know, tiers. And David Jaffe came on with this ominous gasp. Oh, PlayStation has to do better than this because Game Pass is going to kill it. Like, what? So I responded to him. Me and him several back and forths. And I'm like, dude, there is nothing statistically that shows that PlayStation has to do this. Do we want them to do this? Yeah. Do I want a fucking armored truck to just drive by, open the back doors and throw $300,000 in cash at me? Yeah. Okay. Do they need to do this? No. Does it even make any sense for them to stop, to see my ass and stop? No. So with all that being said, show me statistically where PlayStation has to do what Xbox is doing. And there's nothing that shows you that, especially now with PlayStation doing the unthinkable, which is stepping on the necks of the Switch and beating the Switch, not only in dollars, but in units sold. Now, again, we come down the middle here. Last month, Xbox did the same thing and Switch was in last place. But again, let's not forget who was in first. It was PlayStation. PlayStation is dominating. And they've been dominating. They've been creeping up slowly but surely the last several months. Xbox got into second place last month. Whoop-de-doo. But, and I don't mean that as a small feat. I mean that as in comparison to PlayStation has to mimic Xbox right now. Eventually, do I think that PlayStation is going to tap more into possibly some day and date stuff when it comes to the cloud? Yeah. I do think. Do I think it's going to happen tomorrow? Absolutely not. Why? Because it doesn't need to. It doesn't make mathematical sense for them. To where I get Phil Spencer is telling you it's profitable for us. Pay attention to that phrase. It's profitable for us. Meaning there's enough profits coming in for us. But is it out of the red? That's what somebody need to ask this slick mammy jammy. Is Game Pass out of the red as far as the costs and the revenue? When they say shit like, "Oh yeah, it's profitable for us," that's that fucking Phil speak. And with that Phil speak, you're getting a lie that's not going to get exposed until there's more court documents. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't believe Xbox until there's court documents, until there's that official judge seal on what, on what they have to say. Then that's when the real truth comes out. Oh, yeah, Game Pass is only 50% of our revenue. We're struggling. We don't turn a profit on this, that. You know what I'm saying? There's some court proceeding or some regulation involved, CMA. Then that's when the truth comes out. So, again, PlayStation at this point has to do nothing that Xbox is doing. Talking about now. We'll see where 2023 takes us. If Xbox gets some steam on the cloud or somewhere, we'll see. But right now, there is no momentum shift. There never was any. There was a supply chain deficiency. Even people who spoke a little bit more rosier than I would agree with about gaming subscriptions and all that stuff. But my hat goes off to them because I'm a numbers guy, and these people have access to way more gaming numbers than I do. But my homie Matt Piscatella of the NPD group, those people, when I asked them on Twitter, well, what do you think is going on where Xbox is beating PlayStation? Is it demand is high? And he's not saying anything except for, please keep in mind, there is a serious there's a shortage with both, but PlayStation shortage is deeper. My, oh my, oh my. Look at what's happening now. In PlayStation, well, no, let me phrase it like this. Once PlayStation's demand or shortage has been addressed, my, oh my, oh my, look at what the hell we're at now. So, just find it interesting that, again, Xbox is fine. I'm not saying Xbox is going to die tomorrow or anything like. Xbox is fine as far as the business. The business is fine. I'll put it like that. The business is fine. But is the business transformative, as some in the media or others who have agendas try to make you believe, or tried to really make you believe earlier this year? And I would say no, and they fell flat on their face. Even my good friend David Jaffe. Now we're looking at Game Pass. People are throwing up in their mouth. I mean, I get that Penniman is out there, but those are just bragging chips. That's just stuff on paper. The masses are not playing that game. They're not. It's getting the scores, it's getting its accolades, great. But that's not the game that hardcore gamers, the sole base of Game Pass, are going to play. You gotta remember, hardcore gamers make up, as I've said years ago, and nobody listened. Hardcore gamers make up the gist of Game Pass, and that's the way it's gonna be until they get Fortnite, Call of Duty, Madden, until they get those games in day and date. That's the way it's going. Oh no, because people want to play more games. No, they don't. Daniel Lamont of Nico Group showed us years ago that on average, gamers have 6 to 13 games in their catalog at one time. That's on average. And on average, they only pick up 2 games a year. That right there tells you that even though there's a lot of hardcore gamers that can create a groundswell of news and all that other shit, that most gamers are casual. And that's, they water those averages down to what they are. So because of that, all I care about is my Madden, my Fortnite, my FIFA, and none of them shits is in Game Pass day and date. Guess what? It's amazing that they've even hit 15%. And that's why the Activision Blizzard deal is so important to them right now on many plateaus. But I don't want to go into too far into the weeds. Let's get on to this topic And you know how we do. Let me show you something. All right. This is the aforementioned tweet from my good friend Porter Rock. He says, well, apparently, according to the Xbox community, Sifu is a fighting game, corruption. Private business choosing dates for award shows, corruption. Voters not verified by YouTube content creators, corruption. Unless it's 2021, when Microsoft was leading in noms, then it's fine. Let's take a look. So he was responding to this person right here who was I guess I could say a prominent Xbox person, Gaz. While I was out in the clouds, I've seen him around here and there. He's probably somebody that came in like 2020. I'm not sure. But Porter Rock, what he was doing was responding to this video. We're going to listen to this video and we're going to talk about it on the back end. All right. So let me pause the music. Cause I'm not sure if they're playing music on their end. Let's listen to it.
It could mean, and by the way,
Okay. Let me do this first. Before I play this video, I want to give you guys the precursor to what this video is about. At Jeremy Pinter, who's known as ACG, I believe, is calling the Game Awards exactly how it is according to this poster. Corrupt! Integrity, relevance, bias, and process needs to be called into question. All right, and this is on Gaz Daily, and that's why him and Porter Rock were going back and forth. All right, let's do it.
It could mean, and by the way, I don't know anybody voting, so if this pisses anybody off, I apologize, but since I don't know who you are, don't take it personal. I didn't even understand the entire way in which this stuff was announced, because I saw some announcements that looked like they were prior to the deadline. And so I was like, so you're saying that these are the awards, but they're prior to the deadline for the games coming in? Why is Pentiment not on there? Why, especially at the ratings? So here's my personal opinion about the Game of the Year awards. At their very core, they're corrupt. And I do not mean the people are corrupt. I mean the way in which it's done is corrupt. And that's okay to say this has fallen to the wayside. It's no longer representative of sort of how we're going. There needs to be far more transparency.
Why do you say
because
that?
there's no transparency. There's none at all. We don't even know how any of this happens. It's like, hey, watch the Game Awards where blah, blah, blah happened. You're like, how did we get to this point? But they don't want to talk about that. It's the same way about how did we get this fucked up schedule for the Game Awards, which isn't January to December. It's some nebulous fucking day where you're just looking at it going like, why is this the day? Why is it not? Just tell me why it's not one day after that. If you can, and they can't. And so it's become corrupt in that the lack of transparency has made it so that no one cares. And Game of the Year, we should care. I think we should. And right now, most of the people I know, they're happy for a game, but they don't know why it's there, and they just see these scores, and then you're like, so it was nominated, but nominated doesn't win, but it means it was, and they listed all these numbers for nominations. People are going, what the fuck does that even mean?
What's 7 nominations for Horizon?
I saw 17 and I was like, so it won? No, it didn't win. And I know why they don't have public, because you could cheat, right? You could there's all kinds of stuff, and I get that. I totally get that. But there needs to be transparency, and there needs to be some ways in which we can look, not to be rude, but I think for the most part, it's most likely journalistic scores and reviews. And most of us in YouTube are there because we were let down by journalistic stuff at one point or another.
100%.
So
100%.
I know that they don't want to grab me, especially because of the way I talk, but it's like there are some, dude, if writing on games were to tell me it could mean, and by the way, I don't know any.
Okay. So did you guys hear that? All right. So there's a lack of transparency, right? Because they don't know how games get there. Okay. So let's first address the let's address the theme, the thesis here, that this has become corrupt. It's now, I think the phrase was, it's now corrupt. And it's now corrupt because the date to cut off game entries that could be submitted for possibly winning any categories was the day before Pentiment came out. Okay. So and that it's not transparent. We don't know how we get here with these games and all that stuff. And Jeff Keighley may not be a horrible guy, but it's the process that stinks. I didn't take the time to gather everybody's comments that was like, yeah. But I bet you that if you gather shit that they've said about the Game Awards last year, it's nothing fucking like this. And guess what? It's the same lack of transparency or whatever it was last year. But you know what the difference was last year? Xbox was the most nominated game publisher, and by them being recognized by TGA as such, that prompted them to receive awards subsequently elsewhere by different people. Oh shit, the TGA's recognized this. We got to come up with some type of kudos as well. Same measure of transparency, all that shit. Pretty much same people on the board, which includes Phil Spencer. Yes, that Phil Spencer, who knows when the date is, who can very easily have said, you know what? As the leader, as someone who has belief in a product, could have very easily said, you know what? I really want Pentiment here. I think this is a great game. I have the utmost confidence in this game. I now know the date because I'm on the board. Hey, Obsidian. It's only going in a fucking Game Pass. Because Obsidian said themselves, the only reason why this game is here is because of Game Pass. Hey, Obsidian, let's release the game a day early. Right? Like, being that you got this inside information, if you felt like Pentiment was robbed because it wasn't given an opportunity, and you know this date, why can't Pentiment, that's just primarily put out there for Game Pass? They told you if it wasn't for Game Pass, we couldn't even put this game out here. It's just going into a subscription server. It can't go a day early? A day earlier? This is your studio. Phil, this is not a game that's being developed from a third party for your studio exclusively, which would make it second party. This is your studio. Of the 26 kajillion studios that you bought, that, as we get to the crux of why Xbox, this brass of Xbox gamers feel, I'm not going to put this on a lot of Xbox gamers, this brass of Xbox gamers feel robbed. That is 26 kajillion billion studios that you have that didn't put out shit in 2022. You as the leader said, why bother? Why fucking, I mean, that's what it boils down to. Why, you're on the board. You know the date. You can't push everything. If that's the true issue, that they were robbed of an opportunity, why wouldn't you push it back a day to grant them that opportunity? Here's the fact of the matter. Xbox didn't put out shit. It's 2022 is utterly disappointing. You even got people like Jess Corden, who carries buckets of water all about his face, neck, and knees for Xbox, putting out tweets like, what are you most disappointed about Xbox? Like, these motherfuckers are brand new, like they were Stadia and shit, and they gotta figure out their player base and get a better understanding of gaming. That's how abysmal 2022 is. And if the same quote unquote lack of transparent process was good enough to nominate all of your fucking games last year when you guys were working, and when leadership made sure that even though, you know, these games weren't Game of the Year candidates, well, no, I think Deathloop was. But even though these games didn't win Game of the Year, that you at least were on the show, that when leadership could make sure that you were at least on the showroom floor for recognition, they did a horrible job in 2022. Because that's the leadership thing. It's not PlayStation's fault that at least they know to be present with something substantial every year. That's not their fault. That's your fault. And again, if it boiled down to one day and you're on the committee, how come you couldn't push things back to make one date? You're the fucking boss of Xbox. Don't give me this horse shit. Where Xbox elitists come from? I mean, look, man, and trust me, I came into this game as a serious Xbox elitist. The aforementioned Porter Rock, me and him had an infamous battle back and forth. But this is just utterly stupid. This is not holding accountability. I mean, is with all of the goofiness that broadband bullies and Jazz maybe had, to give Jazz credit. Well, I don't know what he said about this. Hopefully he ain't riding the Game Awards now all of a sudden this year is corrupt bandwagon. Especially when Xbox's boss has inside information and could have very easily made Pentiment, if it was that great of a fucking game, made Pentiment accessible to be recognized. That says about the faith or the lack thereof that he had. I smell bullshit. Because where was his energy last year? Look, man, look. I hate bringing Stadia into this because I know y'all don't want to hear about it. But as someone who carried water on about his neck and knees too for Stadia, the way that they closed down, or when they've done shit, I have been the most vocal to land-base the hell out of them. Right? As much as I love the technology, as much as I love what they was doing, as much as I love the community that they curated, as of late, particularly with these refunds, I've been on their ass. Do I think it's bullshit that the community lied about the product and misinformed people about the product, and now all of a sudden when the product is dead, oh man, there's these people that are really upset about it, and now they want to speak the truth? Yeah, I think it's fucked up. But at the end of the day, that does not wipe away the culpability that Google has for shutting it down the way that they did and how they're handling these refunds. So I'm not gonna sit here and waste my breath and point fingers and say that Cold Blood Sensei is corrupt. You know what I'm saying? That's a Google problem. If this game truly was that great and it would have blown everybody away had it had the opportunity to be within the timeline, as the boss, you make sure that it makes that timeline, which is one fucking day. This is the sorriest sap of shit I've heard during this whole console war, and I've heard a whole bunch of sorry shit. Face it, Xbox underperformed in 2022. You guys got your asses ripped from your backside and handed to you by PlayStation. Yes, maybe it'll get to 15%. No nominations in the Game Awards to put the cherry on top. Everything pushed back. Nothing's ready this year. 82 fucking nobody's bringing anything hardcore AAA to make a scratch on this. And if this game, which again is owned by the boss of the platform that is on the video, the Game Awards committee can't do what he got to do to get this game recognized by just shifting what needs to be shifted today. That's a him problem, not a Game Awards problem. It sounds like you're addressing the wrong leadership, my friends. Man, I don't know where these motherfuckers come from. I don't. I sometimes go back to my old Xbox stuff. Some of it makes me cringe because I was putting faith in this regime being different than who they are. It's just who they are. But I think a lot of it was spot on as far as what could be possible. Because PlayStation fanatics were making, oh, this ain't possible and that ain't. And I'm like, no, it's possible because XYZ. It's just Xbox decided to take their own path, which is fine. And I said, oh, okay, well, if that's the path that you're going to take, it's one I don't belong on. But I don't go, I've never, when something is a clear lack of leadership, like even this, like you don't have nothing out for 2022, nothing. You only was winning NPD, which represents the largest market for your product and your service. You were only winning because the competition just didn't have enough supply out there. As soon as they got the supply out there, you started getting walloped. Your flagship service, you're now trying to make it seem like, oh, wait, this wasn't the catalyst for us getting the 3 billion games. It's only 15%. It's just a choice. You treat it like a wet food stamp. And now, when games get recognized, you can't even go pat your developers on the back because nothing is there. If that isn't a fumble of leadership, I don't know what is. I got some land to sell you on the moon for $500,000 kajillion dollars. Let me get to these chats because you guys are sick. Let's see here. Cold Blood Sensei says, where you play third parties is the bigger question. If you don't like the ecosystem of PlayStation, go with PC. But I love to get trophies and the DualSense controller just hits different. Look, if Game Pass is your thing, right? And you just like the Xbox ecosystem mainly because of the multiplats, because that's where I was at. Well, I mean, Game Pass wasn't even out before I rolled, but well, yes, it was, but it wasn't prominent before I rolled. But it was just like, yeah, okay, maybe they're not putting out any bangers that I really care about, but like the multiplats or where my eyes are at anyway. I'm not really looking at anybody's exclusives. I'm looking at the multiplats, and I prefer to play them on Xbox. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with that at all. My thing is though, when you go outside of that realm, that lane, and you want them to get recognition for their own individual exclusive product, no, they didn't do anything this year. The only thing they got that I feel, I mean, like, look, everything was so fucking. No, the gunk was that was 2021, I think. Let's go look that up real quick. It was disappointing. Your flagship title is big update. Nobody gives a flying fig Newton. The gunk. Let's see when the gunk released. Okay, I think the gunk was 2021. Okay, December 16th, 2021. So, but that, I think that would have, the gunk would have qualified because I don't think that it made it into last year's thing, but that was the disappointment. Starfield gets pushed back, which I understand that. Redfall gets put, what the fuck? What is going on here? You didn't do anything this year. That's as simple as that. I'm sorry. So, if you want them to have the accolades for having a budget service in Game Pass, for having a budget console in the Series S, and for being you and others' favorite place to play multiplats, I get that. But don't you dare step off that goddamn porch and start whining and having a fit about them and their exclusive efforts. They had none. All right? Got it? Good. Let's go on to the next comment. It says, I'm considering it. I wasn't trying to start anything. I fell out of gaming a year ago, and I'm back around in 2017, 2018. It says, our good friend Dusty Aran. His comment will pop up. There we go. Okay. There you go, Dusty. Dusty says, I'll see you later. I'm turned off these unskippable ads and several at a time. Yeah, I know, man. I apologize. I don't know why Twitch is, Jesus Christ. They're really getting out of control with these. Let me see what else we got. He said, this is hilarious. Cold Blood Sensei says they had Halo, but it's so dog shit it didn't even get nominated for Best Shooter. There was something else that Cold Blood had. He says at Mighty. He says at my. Oh, hold on. What happened? The hell? He says that they had Halo, but it's so dog shit it didn't even get nominated for Best Shooter. No, that's up there. I already read that one. I want this one. One that made me chuckle a little bit. It says Crossfire X said Mighty Most 2000 truly the banger Xbox gamers deserved. Yeah, I mean, they just did on it again. If you want to give kudos to Game Pass, then all right, go on your chat boards and talk about Game Pass. If you want to give kudos to Xbox for being a great place to play multiplats because of the world's most powerful console, and it seems like that not all of them yet, but they're starting to get more games that perform better, or it seemed like it. They're not splitting as many hairs with the PlayStation 5. Okay, cool. All right, that's a fathomable discussion to have. But when it comes out to individual effort and recognition for that individual effort, Xbox did dog shit in 2022. Period. There's no getting around it. Sorry. Unbelievable, man. Unfucking believable. They try to ride on that dumb shit. Anywho, let's continue on. Yeah, so I want to show you guys this. Shout out to Trusted Reviews. Let me show you something else. Nah, that's wrong. Okay, I agree for all your fucking spyware. No, I don't want your updates though. PlayStation 5 battered Xbox in 2022 in the Game Awards nominations prove it. This is coming from Chris Smith of Trusted Reviews. The nominations are in for the Game Awards 2022 with the PlayStation 5 exclusives God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West battling the more platform agnostic Elden Ring for the top prizes. The highly prestigious End of the Year Gaming Awards to take place on December 8th in Santa Monica's New Norse Mythology and Adventure leads the way with 10 nominations, including Game of the Year, Game Direction, and Best Narrative. Says the announcements tell the story of 2022 for console gamers, especially who haven't had much in the way of massive original releases to choose from, especially on the Xbox side of things. I mean, look, 2022 wasn't the greatest year consistently. PlayStation dropped some shit at the beginning of the year, and now they're in and out with a banger. Xbox put out nothing. Ugh. PlayStation 5 clearly had the better year, with 2 of the best games nominated here, exclusive to the platform and created in-house by Sony. A third nominee, Stray, which sees gamers embark on the adventures of Stray Cat, is only available on PlayStation 5 and PC, with an Xbox release still to be in the works. A Plague Tale Requiem is available on both Xbox and PlayStation platforms, as is Elden Ring. And maybe you guys can find some solace in that, because isn't A Plague Tale Requiem, didn't it clock in better on as far as performance, according to Digital Foundry? Wasn't that clocked in better on Xbox? So make that that's a better argument, Chip, than the shit that you guys are saying. Like, if MM2K is still in his Xbot mode, I am arguing that I'm out here arguing that the real winner of Game of the Year, Plague Tale Requiem, is best played on Xbox. Here's an interesting quote for all of you that want to lose your shit. By its own admission, Microsoft has had a down year, but it's promising that will change in 2023 with Starfield, Redfall, and Forza Motorsport. So, to the Wall Street Journal and others, Xbox admitted that they had a shitty year. They admitted it, that this year was dog shit. And your Lord and your Savior, let me not be blasphemous here, your owner and Savior, Phil Spencer, apparently didn't care enough, or just didn't think that it was worth it. He didn't have enough faith and Pentiment to where he didn't even address the fact that, oh, I got inside information. This date cuts off this time. Hey, guys, why can't we make a run to get this out a day earlier or 2 days earlier? Right? So you guys, Xbox isn't going to fight you because they like it. They look, when they get out here and say the console war sucks, they only say that shit when it's hurt them. When it's working in their favor, they relish it. They love it, as all these platforms do. I'm not gonna just blame Xbox on this. Hell no, PlayStation loves it too. When people are out there calling Xbox dog, like they loving it right now. But if you're truly upset about recognition, then as a leader of a platform that's bringing in billions, tens of billions, 16 billion, right? dollars in a year. Somebody should have put out something. And somebody should have cared. If you guys care this much about this, someone at Xbox should know, and someone at Xbox should have made sure that Pentiment was out. It's a fucking story flip book game. It's not a AAA banger made on Unreal Engine 12. Somebody should have made sure that game was out in enough time. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. And if you are going to point the finger at them, that's a reflection on you. If you're not going to point the finger at them, rather, that's a reflection on you, not them. But that's it. Let's get on to the next topic. On the positive side for Xbox, Evil West developer has come out and said that the Series S is not holding gaming back. Let's revisit this timeline here, because this is an interesting one. All right, so the battle over Series S and even the Xbox One has some history before even the launch of this generation. The 9th generation of console gaming. Remember, there was the whole scale up and scale down controversy, right? Where, having so many cross-gen games, would that fucking kill? Would that kill gaming? And people were like, yeah. It's going to kill the ingenuity we get at the beginning of the year. The first year, there should be a bunch of gen games, but we definitely want some only next gen titles that can only be done on the PlayStation 4, that can only be on the PlayStation 5, that can only be done on the Xbox Series. They can't be done on the older, and we didn't get any of that. I think the only game that's like that is Deathloop. There's Deathloop, there's Jak and Daxter. Or not Jak and Daxter, what's that? Ratchet and Clank. And all those were released on the PlayStation first. So people then started arguing, that Series S is a bottleneck. You need to get rid of it. You had developers say it, and then they deleted their comments on Twitter. So that further lamented Xbox for bringing that Series S out. And it's been talked about by prominent pro Xbox groups like Brad Sams of the Paul Thurrott think tank group, that there wasn't supposed to be a Series S. Like, there was supposed to be one at first, then there wasn't, because developers complained about the very same things that we've seen a couple of developers come out and complain about. And then the Series S came back into life because they were going to use xCloud to be your Series S. And when they discovered that xCloud was of the lowest performing cloud platform out of its peers, then they brought the Series S back. Remember the infamous, would you ship that? When Phil Spencer sat down with the Fortune magazine interview person, and when they was playing xCloud, and he said, would you ship that? Wow. So because of all that, Xbox has been lamented over the Series S. Well, now this developer comes out and it says, they say otherwise. So it says Evil West developer. Here, let's show you the article. Wrong one. Evil West developer says Xbox Series S didn't hold the game back. In a counter to recent claims, a lead producer from Evil West developer Flying Wild Hog discusses the Xbox Series S did not prove a hindrance. An Evil West developer has pushed back on claims that the Series S will hinder the current generation of consoles. Publisher Focus Entertainment and developer Flying Wild Hog recently announced that the performance can be expected for Evil West across all platforms, which prompted criticism given that the frame rate and resolution for the Xbox Series S and the Xbox One are apparently the same. When it was revealed that Gotham Knights would only run at 30 frames per second on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, fervent online discussions ensued. Many were disappointed at the console cap and even caused developers to offer their not so positive views about the Xbox Series S. Lee Donovo, a developer from Rocksteady, blamed the GPU of the lower specification console, describing this generation to be hamstrung by that potato. Donovo's opinion was soon backed up by indie developer Ian McClure, who stated that developers have consistently tried to get the Series S launch requirements dropped. In an interview with German outlet, though, Xbox Dynasty, that's interesting. Atomic Group GOP, the lead producer at Flying Wild Hog, disputes the claim that the Xbox Series S is an albatross around the neck of production. When questioned about potential limitations introduced by the Xbox Series S, GOP was unequivocal. No, why would it? He went further, citing there is no requirement to make the Series X version look exactly like the Series S, so we're not limited as developers. I got to stop right here. I'm not a developer. I don't know much about this shit, but I have to tell you, that is the most disingenuous comment, and I don't know if they were, if there was some type of compensation or some type of nudge from Xbox, or they just wanted to do it on themselves. The Xbox probably never said it. They just said, "Oh, we're going to do this on our own because we want to kiss Xbox's ass. We want to get in the Game Pass day and date. We want them to give us a fat ass check for it or something." I don't know, but that's very disingenuous because the concern isn't that the Series S and the Series X have to look the same. The concern is that because you have to develop for such a shitty GPU, supposedly that's in the Series S, when it comes to 9th generation consoles, that hamstrings the 9th generation version of the platform. It's kind of like, people say this all the time, but they say this erroneously. It's kind of like when people say, and Dustin Legary of IGN is notorious for misrepresenting this. When he says, video cards, the 20,000 video cards out there, they got to be taken into account every time a game is developed for them. Granted, there are a variety of video cards that when developers are making a game, more so than consoles, but there are so many variations of video cards, CPUs, and all other shit that have to be taken into consideration. But it's not as crazy as people make it seem to be. What a developer does is they go to a specific benchmark of CPU or GPU, and they say, because there are benchmarks, there are calculations and numbers that are associated to the performance of these products. And they say, as long as your product can perform at this level, and they'll name a GPU or an APU. Like say if the GPU benchmark has to be 15,000 and the CPU benchmark has to be 17,000, they will go to a 17,000 CPU, 15,000 GPU one that just makes the standard and they say, this is the minimum spec. And then they'll go look up the benchmark number and they'll look for something that'll give you more desired results, and they'll say, this is the recommended spec. So it's not about the variety of products that you have to be accustomed to. That is not the meat and potatoes here. The meat and potatoes is performance. And what some of these developers have said is they said that the performance of the CPU in the Series S is so shitty that it's bottlenecking how they're able to make games for 9th generation consoles. So this sentence right here is so disingenuous. Like, that's not the problem. It's not the variety, it's the power. Now, they continue on to say, Zgop additionally described the Series S as an excellent market product and asserted that he knew of many who use it all in one Xbox for entertainment. The interview also inquired as to why the Xbox Series S is capped at 30 frames per second, which Zgop justified by outlining how maintaining a stable frame rate of 60 was not achievable, and opting for a consistent experience was deemed a better choice. So even though the Series X and the PlayStation 5 can do 60, there are elements that they had to compensate for to get it to run on the Series S that they've had to scrap out of the other versions as well. When you're making console, like, that's what you got to do. If the lowest common denominator for that generation has a bottleneck, it's going to affect the other versions too. Now, with me and my very limited development knowledge of when it comes to games, at least I know that. So don't fall for that. Oh, it's, the oversaturated, well, PC parts have to be competent. No, it's not the variety of parts. It's the power. And there's always minimum specs that represent power and recommended specs that represent power. All that other shit that falls under those specs, you're on your own if you try to play this game with those parts. So no, it's not the same. It's not about the quantity, it's the quality. Yes, when it comes to consoles, there's only 3 APUs to switch. Well, I imagine the Switch gets the 8th generation versions of games, but all right, there's only 3 APUs. There's the PlayStation 5, which I think is the same in the digital in the CD Bay one. Then there's the Series X and the Series S, and I think those APUs may be different. So even though there's only 3 APUs, and there may be 10,000 video or 500 video cards on PCs that have to be accounted for, it doesn't matter. Those 500 video cards are benchmarked at XYZ power, to where 2 of those APUs out of the 3 are benchmarked at XYZ power too, but this APU in the Series S is benchmarked at ABC, which causes conflict for the console versions. That's the argument being made. So understand that, so you don't fall for the okie doke when these other people talk this stupid stuff about these games. Let's go to the comments. Uh-oh, what happened? I guess they don't like your comments, Cole. Oh, I see what happened. We don't want to hear from that cold blood sensei anymore. He's ignorant. He's ignorant. He's ignorant. Cold Blood Sensei says, now that's some bullshit these devs spew. Effing hell. Their game runs 1080p 60 on the next gen. Tell me again that the Series S is great when it's running 1080p 30. Ridiculous. And you're not going to want to hear this. This is where people are going to start leaving this live stream. And that's fine, because we speak the truth here. It is because I believe, and again, I don't have any hardcore evidence. I'm not a developer. I've heard from developers though that have said the same thing. Here's what I will say. And they say the same thing, but they understand, like, for some developer, it depends on what type of developer that you are. If you're a developer that like is in it for the cash, which I'm not saying that they all aren't, they all don't want money. Yeah, they all want money, but your sole motivation is like, give me the loot. Then yes, you're gonna praise the Series S. And yes, you'll hamstring your performance to incorporate the Series S with no problem. You won't give a fuck, because that means with the so many Series S's that are out there, that means that you're gonna get more sales. And especially if you're not trying to do anything innovative with your game that's gonna bog down resources, then yeah, you're like, well, who cares? Who cares that I gotta implement the bottlenecks of the Series S? There's so many of those fucking things out there that I'll do it. It's like the Switch. This is not hard to understand. It's elementary. It's like the Switch. If the Switch was a true 9th generation console, and everything that goes into the 9th generation versions of games had to go into the Switch, it definitely would be a bottleneck, wouldn't it? It would be more so than the Series S, right? Right. It's not hard to understand. So the Series S, for some people, they don't care about the bottleneck because it means that there's more potential consumers. But there are those that are trying to push gaming forward with the shit that they're putting in their games. And this is hamstringing them. That's why they've come out and they've been vocal. Now, again, I don't want to be mean to this developer of Evil West. It's a game that I'm looking at. I'm anticipating I'm going to pick up. We'll see. But this is horseshit. This is absolutely horseshit, as Cold Blood Sensei. But I'm going to say this. Because the Series S is causing this hamstring, I hate to tell you guys, but these consoles that, and I included, these consoles that we bought, they're fucked because of it. Gotham Knights was just the first fucking example. 30 frames per second on these fucking machines? I don't do 30 frames per second no more. I refuse, never no more. No more. Get that shit out of my face. So I hate to say it. When it comes to these multi-plat games, I'm watching these motherfucking games. And if too many of these games require or doing 30 frames per second, I'm going to PC. I'm already gaming on PC. But I'm going to give you guys, now you guys may say, but MM, okay, cool. But I ain't got a powerful enough PC, or I'm not dropping 15, and I don't know about putting this together and putting that together. I'm going to tell y'all. I know that you guys feel like I've lost my credibility in this realm, but hear me out. I know Stadia died. It's dead. It's not coming back. Fuck it. 2 beans in a bucket. But cloud gaming isn't dead. And I'm going to tell you somebody that is doing cloud gaming in a way that to get your AAA fucking visually impressive juices flowing is GeForce Now, that 3080 tier. Now, granted, it's $20 a month. And yes, you still got to buy the games on Steam or whatever. But what it does is it gives you access to the equivalent of a 3080 PC in the sky. And it beams the power of that fidelity to piece of shit hardware. Fucking Chromebooks and dongles. And the result is amazing. So you better believe that I'm not playing Evil West at no fucking 1080p 60. 1080p 60 for a $500 console? No. I'm buying it on GeForce Now and I'm playing it there. And it's not my PlayStation 5's fault. It's because that damn Series S is out there, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't have any evidence, don't have any facts. It's just how you see when you talk to these developers, how they fucking waffle, how they say this time and then this time, and they give you this horse shit, and then the truth comes out when there's court documents. I don't trust them. I don't fucking trust them. I don't trust them as far as I can grab them by the chin and toss their bum asses. I don't trust them. So I'm prepared, man. I'm gonna play my games. I'm gonna play my games in the best fidelity I can play them. I'm armed up for GFN 3080 tier. Another platform on that same realm is a platform called Boosteroid. I want you guys to stay tuned to my channels, particularly Cloud Dosage that I participate in, because we're going to have an interview. Let me shut up. I ain't going to say nothing else because we ain't made the announcement yet. But something big is coming. You can find out more about Boosteroid. But I'm telling you, better be equipped. Because until these mid-gen refreshes come out, when it comes to multiplats, I'm not telling you, of course, you don't buy no PlayStation game on PC day and date, you fucking can't. But when it comes to these multiplats, these developers are like, the hell with it. You're getting 4K 30, 1080p 60. That's just, nah, I refuse. You might want to consider GFN and Boosteroid when they said they're going to 4K 120 in a winter update, but GFN is doing it right now. That's the sad state of affairs that we're in. And again, as a PlayStation owner, it's not my PlayStation's fault. My PlayStation could do it if it wasn't for the bottleneck, in my opinion. This isn't the console. Well, this isn't PlayStation's fault. This is because Xbox essentially took a Switch and put it into its 9th generation family. People got to develop for it, and it's causing them heartache. This is what I've heard from devs as well. So some devs don't give a shit about it, and I get it, because just like there's so many Switches out there, and that's granting people money, there's so many Xbox One S's out, Series S's out there. I don't give a fuck. Don't deal with the bottleneck however. It's about that cash. But some people, it's about the cash too, but they're trying to innovate. And they can't do it. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool. Cold Blood Sensei says, GTX 1060 is the minimum spec. Get GTFO. Well, if that's the minimum spec, but I'm not playing this at 1080p 30. You know what I mean? And again, what is the minimum? I had this conversation about Gotham Knights. And I was like, what is the minimum? What is the equivalence of the APU in the Series S? I was talking to an Xbot, and the Xbot was like, I mean, I think it's I think it's that. And he sounded like Trump making fun of somebody. And I'm like, you don't fucking know? You're sitting there pulling your hair out, biting cabinets and shit in your house. And you're so angry about this and you don't know? Like there's a bottleneck somewhere. Look, a developer doesn't come out and say, I have access to create these great visuals. And I'm working on this thing that can do it. And there's a lot of people that have this thing. I'm just not going to fucking do it. Developers don't do that. So if all of a sudden you're seeing these games that are hitting these disappointing specs, there's a bottleneck somewhere. And the bottleneck is not with the PlayStation 5. And I get that the minimum spec on PC is 1060. But what is the minimum CPU they tell you? Is that minimum CPU they're telling you, is it a lot better than the Series S? There you go. Just my thoughts on it. Cold Blood says they legit use back compat versions with double the frame rate. I ain't buying it. Hell no. It flops. He said, I hope it flops big time. He says, GeForce Now only good if you play games like Visual. Oh, hell no. No, not the 3080 tier. And no, and the priority tier has gotten better too. Priority tier has gotten better. But that 3080 tier, Cold Blood, I got a video coming out at the end of this week. I made it just for you, my brother. It's NVIDIA GeForce Now 30. Oh, no, as a matter of fact, now fuck that. We're going to do this right now. Let's do this. I need you to go to your channel. Let's go to videos. There it goes right here. Oh, no. There it goes. There goes my baby. Watch this video. Can we get to some action? Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Bruh. And what you need to do is go to Cloud Dosage Streams. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop a link to this video. I'm gonna drop a link to this video. Link to GeForce Now video. I'm gonna drop a link to that video. When you get a chance, check that video out in 4K. Well, let's get to some action. Here we go. Hold on. Here goes some action right here. Look at this shit, bro. Look at this shit. That's GeForce Now. I can't look. I'm not saying that all cloud gaming platforms can do this. GeForce Now can. The 3080 tier can. This is off the 3080 tier, bro. All right, I dropped this in a PC Discord, and they were about to ban me out. Don't drop this shit in here. Like, they didn't watch the video. They were mad. And then one guy watched it. No, I dropped it in a Reddit. I'm sorry. And one guy watched it, and then he vouched for me. He says, no, this shit looks dope. And then people started watching it, and they were like, oh man, this is dope shit. So I'm just telling y'all, man, it's not PlayStation's fault. There's that bottleneck, man. But I'm shoring myself up. I got a backup plan. That's the 3080 tier. That's just me. That's all I'm saying. I didn't mean to make this a big 3080 tier commercial, but all right, so let's do this. So now, speaking of PC gaming, let's talk about Miles Morales on PC. Digital Foundry did a review of it by Alex Battaglia. And Alex was pretty impressed, man. He was very, very impressed with it. And when you look at it on PC, there's these ray trace shadows that's been added to it that isn't even there for the PlayStation 5 version. So if you're a PlayStation gamer, and or if you're a PC gamer and you want to give Miles Morales a try, definitely do it, man. This has gotten some great reviews. And I know this is a sore spot for PlayStation gamers, but y'all gotta get over that shit. I'm an equal opportunity cursor outer. Y'all gotta get over that shit. That's some sappy shit. I wouldn't even care if PlayStation started dropping their exclusives day and date on PC and day and date on the cloud. Here's why. PlayStation at its core is about quality. That's what granted success. So when you sell games a la carte, it doesn't matter the console or the device that you hamstring it to. As long as people can access it and play it, they're going to buy it because of that quality. Once that quality gets watered down, it doesn't get bought anymore. What waters it down isn't the way that you access it. What waters it down is the business model that you use to make it available. If you're using a subscription service model, then yes, because it's like Country Inn buffet. Yeah, the shrimp maybe ain't cooked all the way and it's going to make you throw up and shit like that, but there's so many other things that you can use as the palate cleanser. Who cares? But when you go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse, that steak, what you're getting on your plate primarily, that shit better be perfect. So it doesn't matter if the steak is being brought on a fucking Dixie plate or the finest china in the world. The whole essence is that steak that you're buying singularly. It has to be quality. And the same applies, I feel, with PlayStation products. You guys rob yourselves of so many opportunities because you made a fatal flaw in your argument versus the Xbox fanboy. The fatal flaw that you made is that instead of just focusing on their lack of quality, you threw in there, but you want your games everywhere too. You made an argument you don't need an Xbox to play Xbox games. Well, that's not the problem at all. Like, if Halo was a great game and you could buy it on PC and play it on the cloud, whether you had an Xbox console or not, Xbox is making crazy fucking money. But they just don't they don't know how to make quality games, or they don't even know how to court quality games or to have efficient schedules. Not at this moment. 2023 may change, but whatever. But that's not PlayStation's problem. So I feel that PlayStation can release day and date on PC. They can release day and date on the cloud. No day and date into a subscription service, because I think that does water down the product. And they would still be urged to deliver on greatness, and they would have access to more people. And with more revenue, that's more games that you get. And that doesn't cheapen the value of the PlayStation 5, because with the PlayStation 5, it's still got to be a powerful machine, right? So you're still going to get kick-ass fidelity and graphics and shit there. Right? Like even cloud gaming is only a 1% business. Now PC gaming is huge, but that's not going to devalue the console, because everybody can't afford to put together a $1,500 PC, nor do they have the patience or the wherewithal to deal with all the PC options. So the only viable choice is the console. PlayStation would still be beholden to the console. Release these games everywhere, rake up the money, laugh at Microsoft, continue to make better games. Vital flaw in the PlayStation argument, I feel. And PlayStation feels that way too. They're like, damn, we're fucked. They keep mentioning it, how they want to expand, and then people moan and groan. What are you moaning and groaning about? They can't devalue the console. They can't. You put it on PC. Look, do you really think, do you understand how many people haven't played Uncharted, played God of War? They haven't played Spider-Man. And the fact that these games at launch weren't available on PC, and there was no hint at that time that they were ever coming to PC, that didn't change those PC gamers' minds. Y'all think that what's going to happen is less consoles are going to be sold. And no. PC gamers, and do you think and for those of you that don't want to play on PC, that don't want to play on the cloud, y'all think less consoles are going to be sold, and therefore the console is going to be undervalued? No. The PC gamers, for the most part, are going to stick with their PC here and out. They were never buying a PlayStation for the most part. There are some gamers, some hardcore gamers that will buy everything, but we went over numbers earlier as it relates to Game Pass that showed us that the majority of gamers aren't super hardcore. And you can have a $15,000 PC and not really be a hardcore gamer. You got the money, the disposable income, and you prefer playing PC games. I know plenty of casual PC gamers. But what that doesn't mean is that all of a sudden you're going to see an influx, if you don't make these games available on PC, of PlayStation 5s. No, that's not the case. And PlayStation 5s or consoles for the average gamer are just a better overall value. And they're less cumbersome. So just because you make it available elsewhere, you're just making it available to people that would have never bought it in the first place. That's all. And what that does is it just increases the likelihood of you guys getting better games. It increases the likelihood of you getting a better console. Because if they're making more money, more crazy fly shit they can do with the console. Like, I get it. A lot of you don't understand how business works. Now, this is me being facetious. I am. I'm being guilty of that. Yes. You don't understand how business works. But if you have proprietary hardware that you make on your own, but everything else is being housed elsewhere, and you're just creating the software, all that money comes back to you, and that makes you have the better proprietary hardware because you have a competitor. If you don't have a competitor and you can make shit look better elsewhere, and your average gamer thinks elsewhere is a better value, you would have a problem. But none of those things apply here. Your average gamer feels like the console is the better value. And it's years, even on the cloud realm. Gamers just aren't psychologically there. Even I knew that with all the water that I was carrying for Stadia. I kept telling people, it's a 1% business, 1% business, 1% business. They're not psychological. You got years before people say, oh, well, maybe I don't need to buy a console. That you're well off that period where mainstream gamers start thinking that. So you're actually cutting off the revenue that could make the console better, that could bring you more games. So stop it, man. Y'all get rid of that argument chip. It's not even necessary, and it's actually poison to you. All you got to do is look at Xbox and look at their quality. You ain't got to argue anything else but their quality. Their quality is dog shit. The supervision of the games. Look at this. You had nothing to show for in 2022. You could have had one game in the Game Awards Pentiment for what it counts, and you couldn't even do that because you couldn't even get together and have that release a day early. So that's a L. That's a flop. Your argument against Xbox is quality. Period. All right. Let's go to the comments. Cold Blood Sensei says $20 a month for 3080 is ridiculous. A 4090, okay, that might be worth it longer. Yeah, the 3080 is steep, but let's see how much 3080 price. Okay, so now they're running. Hold on. That's a 3060. That's a 3070. Okay, so 3080s are running about 700. Let's do the math. $700 divided by 20. So that's 35 months. It would take you 30, that 20, if you save that $20, that's 35 months. So that's what, that's almost 3 years. So, I mean, the GPU prices are coming down, but just 6 months ago, it was well more than that for a 3080. So, so, and then when you think about it, then when you upgrade, you might have to get another CPU, because sometimes when you go upgrade, that GPU may not be all of it. It might be the CPU as well that you got to upgrade as well. Oh, you want to upgrade the CPU? Oh, then you got to get another motherboard. Oh shit. Then the old memory might not go with, you know what I'm saying? So it get pretty costly, but if you just look at the GPU alone, that's 35 months of 3080 tier subscriptions. So I can see where people will be like, you know what? I got a 1070 in my unit, and I don't have the money up front to upgrade to a 3080. But I do have $20 a month. I got a shitload of PC games. I want to buy more. I'll fucking do it. And playing GeForce Now on that 1070 would be even better, because what they do is, as great as it is just by playing on dongles and shitty hardware, it's even better if you have older GeForce. If you have older GeForce hardware. There's AI upscaling and other shit you can do that just makes it even look better. So I get what you're saying. It all depends on what your cash flow is like. But right now, for a lot, like my son, I mean, granted, he's 16 years old. He ain't got $800. But he does have he has a job, so he does have $20 a month. You know what I mean? So said bad value, can't even sell it after 30 months. Yeah, I mean that's the thing when you're with a service, yeah, you don't have anything tangible in your hands to try to recoup on. That is true. But it's like Netflix. You know, like when you use Netflix to watch a movie, remember you used to be able to take your DVDs back. Not anymore. So it's your financial situation. I think that's what's going to drive that. But I'm telling my fellow gamers, we're in for some shit. I want to say a good year, maybe two. 2023, I think with these multiplats is going to upset a lot of people. And then maybe even 2024, it's only going to be the exclusives that I think is going to drive the hardware in an individual fashion. So be careful. All right. Last thing is these gaming deals. Let's take a look at them before we get out of here today. First up, we got gaming deals for Cold Blood Sensei's favorite, the Xbox. This is their Black Friday sales. This is sell up to 67% on shit. So you got games like FIFA that are down to $36. Gotham Knights is $42. Forza's Gold Edition is $80. Deathloop is down to $20. Look, if you have an Xbox, yeah, you this is my game of the generation so far. Now I know it's gonna. Mind you, I haven't finished God of War. So to be fair, I'm pretty confident God of War is going to take that slot easily. But I haven't played it yet. I'm not one of those. Oh, it's the best game ever. For the games that I've played, Deathloop is my game of the generation so far. This is a great game. It's only great in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't like Arcane Studios. That's why that Redfall shit, that makes me throw up in my mouth. Fucking puke comes out my nose when I see that shit. It looks so cheesy. I'm not interested in it. I don't like none of Arcane's games except for this one. And I think this one is the difference maker because they worked hand in hand with Sony when they developed this game. When they even won an award, I think they won an award at the game. No, they won an award somewhere for Deathloop. And when they got up on stage, Arcane Studios said that they learned so much from working with PlayStation that it really made Deathloop something different and unique and great in their eyes. I'm telling you, PlayStation knows how to. They know how to manage these games, man. They know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to these titles. And that's why I think I like Deathloop so much. And that's why it sticks out to me so much more because I'm going to say it. I fucking hate Arcane Studios. I don't like nothing else from them. Like when they took the original Prey from Bethesda. Well, no, Bethesda hired them to do the well, you know, they're part of Bethesda. But when they did the reboot of Prey, I wanted to break somebody's kneecaps. I wanted to Nancy Kerrigan somebody. Like I don't like what the fuck is this? I don't like Arcane, but I love Deathloop. So, yeah, even if you're an Xbox gamer, man, you can thank PlayStation for their involvement. You got a great game there. You got games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla down to $26. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen down to $20. Overwatch down to $24. Red Dead Redemption, that's the cheapest I've ever seen that game. $20. Diablo, the Eternal Collection, $20. Diablo 3, that's a great deal. So there's a lot of deals here. Definitely check them out. All right. Let's go now to the PlayStation deals. Let's see what PlayStation got going on. So this is their Black Friday deals. 25% off. Now this is something that got me interested in. I'm going to take advantage of this. Ends 11/28. You can get Save on 12 months of Essential, Extra, or Premium. Yeah, man. And that Essential is something I'm very interested in. Let's see here. PlayStation Store, they got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, 60% off. EA Sports FIFA, 40% off. Like, I wish they got all, holy cow. Jesus Christ. It says scroll through to see what okay, let's head to the PlayStation Store. Yeah, let's see the prices. That's what I want to see. I want to see the prices. All right, so NBA 2K23, it's 50% off, or anywhere between 50 to 55% off. FIFA 23 is anywhere between 40, it's 40% off. Spider-Man Miles Morales is $20. I think I don't know where I'm gonna pick that up at. I'm gonna get that on PC, or I'm gonna get that on PlayStation. We'll see. Gotham Knights, nope, not for me. Stray is awarded, is $24. Grand Theft Auto 5, the endless Grand Theft Auto 5 is $20. Horizon Forbidden West is $30. No, it's $40 if you're getting it on PlayStation 5. Cyberpunk is $25. Gran Turismo 7 is $40. Yep, they got some great deals. Last of Us Part 1, the digital deluxe edition, is $60. Yeah, I'm being unfair. Let's go look a little bit more, see what's going on. Forbidden West is $50, the deluxe edition. Ghost of Tsushima for PlayStation 5 is $30. Yeah, got some cool deals. Definitely go check them out. All right, next, let's go see what's going on with PlayStation. I mean, not PlayStation, PC. So if you're looking to buy a PC, I always recommend piecemealing your PC together. But if you guys are like, well, I just want to get in the PC game and I want to piecemeal it, I want it already put together, iBuyPower has several PCs where they got deals on them, say 41% on the HP Victus, and these are Black Friday deals. So definitely go to, it's this top of product announcement. I thought they had like maybe the prices. So definitely check out this source via AccessWire. I'm gonna put this in the chat. And we actually got two links. Hold on, let me read Cold Blood Sensei. Oh, no, I'll get to Cold Blood. I'm gonna get to what you say in a second. Let me put out this last thing. Best Black Friday PC gaming deals. And this is via PC Gamer. Now I haven't even seen this one yet, so let's take a look and see what they got here. Amazon deals on anything from RTX 3060 gaming PCs to $260 4K screens. Oh, that's dope. Okay. Newegg save up to 39% off NVIDIA RTX powered laptops. Dell has saved over $500 on Alienware PCs. iBuyPower saved $350 on same day shipping gaming PCs. Save close to 1,000. Oh, holy shit. Excuse my French. Save close to 1,000. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Look at that. Black Friday gate. Look at this. I want to see where the one is where I'm saving 1,000. This isn't bad. Acer Nitro has a 3060 in it. Wow. Holy cow. This has a 3080 in it. That's almost 1,000 off. I would get that. It's 1,500. I would get that. Oh no. It's fucking, well, damn, it's not even a 1440p screen. Jesus Christ, that sucks. But you could always hook it up to a 4K, you know. 144 hertz. Okay, so these are 1080 screens. Yeah, these are some decent deals at Walmart. Definitely check them out. These are decent deals. Holy cow. These are some cool deals. What else? So yeah, plenty of deals. NVIDIA, I need a 3080. You can get a 3080 for $1,700 safe. No boy. Oh, these are the PCs. I just want the cards. And the laptop. Okay. All right. Interesting stuff. So definitely check that out. These deals that they have out here via PC Gamer and all that great stuff. So cool. All right. Well, with that said, that's our show for today. I gotta read Cold Blood Sensei's comments because my brother looked like having a conniption. He says, Deathloop. Yo, my brother, please reevaluate what you mean when you talk about bangers. Cold Blood, I know that Deathloop was made by an Xbox studio, but Deathloop is a banger. Deathloop is dope. I love that game. I love that game. The game looks good. It plays good. I love the level design. I just love that game. It's a great game. And I don't like Arcane Studios normally, but I do think that pairing them with PlayStation brought out something in them that it's just a dope title. He says, your integrity card was revoked. I'll take it. Now, when I get done playing God of War, I'm pretty confident. Just off the first 5 minutes alone, I'm confident that God of War is gonna take the thunder out of Death. But for me, Deathloop is the best game that I've played so far in this generation. I love it. So, all right, folks, with that said, that is it from your boy. Thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, all of the new followers, the people dropping bits. Please don't forget that you can follow me on, here, let's do this. Pull up my tweet. Tweedly deedly dee. Deedly 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 dee. See if I can find it. Here we go. All right. In a second. So this is my link tree, MM2K Gaming. So you can go to the HDNC website that is associated to this Twitter page. It'll take you here. Our website that we have designed for all of our streams here. And look, here's what you'll find. Yep, and look, you can watch the stream here. You can check up on our bulletin board. You can see our schedule. It'll tell you that we're live. You can donate. You can actually check out our Discord rooms. Hop in one of our Discords. Check out older content that you may have missed. You can even check out some of our game streams, or quality game streams at that. And then check out our Twitter posts. And then you can look at all my content, all my videos, they're up here. Other archives and stuff you can see up here. So there's so much stuff you can do. Just come and check out the NRO, the HNDC website, the live site rather, and you can go do that at hndc.live. Then, of course, there's us on Twitch, MM2K Gaming YouTube that we have here. We're dropping all types of videos, shorts, and all types of stuff for your gaming goodness. Come check us out there. MM2K on Mastodon. You got to, okay, and there goes me on the Mastodon service. Come check us out there. So if you're, looking for another platform to be on in lieu of or in substitution of Twitter, there you go. I'm on Mastodon. Check us out there. And last but not least, of course, check us out on Twitter. All right. So I'm gonna drop a link to the link to my link tree. We'll drop that right here in the chat so you can don't miss a moment, because people will ask me like, MM2K, what's up with you? What's going on? And I'm like, nothing, same old shit. And they're like, well, I haven't seen you. And what they don't understand is I'm spreading the love now. We're back to doing mainstream gaming content. So I might do a podcast here and maybe drop some shorts on the other channels. I may be on the other channel, do a podcast and maybe drop some short, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always dropping multiple videos a day. It's just depending upon the day, what I'm dropping and where. And if you go here to the HNDC website, you can see our schedule. You can see it on Twitch, but you can see it here too. Today's NRO podcast, which is at 12 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, we're going to be back here at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be streaming an action game, that's going to be God of War. Wednesday is our Spoils of Anime podcast at 12 p.m. Thursday is going to be our Looter Shooter stream, where I'm either going to do Outriders, Division 2, a variety of games there. And then we're off the air on Fridays. But if you go to MM2K Gaming on Fridays, I do a PlayStation stream, which I'll be doing God of War there too. So make sure you're following me, all right? And all the places where I'm available. Okay, with that said, I appreciate all of y'all. Cole blesses that he's gonna take us out with his last nice tweet that he said. He says, at least those games I could beat because it wasn't repetitive trash. Whoa. So you're telling me that you like the other Arcane games? I didn't like them, man. I don't like Arcane at all. They suck to me. This is the only game that they've made that I like, and I just happen to like it a lot. So maybe that's just me. That said, thank everybody for coming through. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.